Welcome to the Nutty Nitty Sisters podcast, a podcast about knitting, spinning, and fiber-related creations. We're your hosts,
Julie
and Judith.
You can find us on social media as Nutty Nitty Sisters on Instagram, at Nutty Nitty Sisters on YouTube, and you can email us at nuttynittysisters@gmail.com.
If you're watching for the first time, welcome, and thanks for joining us.
If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and thanks for returning. We'd appreciate it if you'd click the subscribe button below so you don't miss any broadcasts.
Click that bell, you'll be notified as soon as new videos are loaded.
Now, grab your knitting, find a comfy spot,
And let's get a little nutty.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. We are excited to be back. Another 2 weeks. We're getting on a regular schedule here. If you haven't joined us before, I'm Judith.
And I'm Jules.
And we are the Nutty Nitty Sisters. We
100%.
do 100% Nutty Nitty Sisters. And we create videos sharing our love of all things fibery and the fiber arts. And we are so excited to be coming into spring, even though we just had a significant snowstorm. So I guess we should start with our regularly scheduled programming, right? And if you haven't joined us before, we do things in kind of segments, and our first segment is called Life in General. So, how is your life in general? What's been happening for you over the past 2 weeks, Jules?
Wishing and wishing and wishing for spring. I know the calendar says it, but the ground doesn't.
Yeah. I would move just over my shoulder. You can see my backyard, and I'd move my camera if I didn't think I'd make everybody throw up. But we got dumped on.
Yeah.
Snowstorm. Yeah. Huge. Like, it's April 6th, for crying out loud.
It was a terrible April Fool's joke.
It was
horrible.
I remember several years ago we had a huge snowstorm on April 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But this storm came through on the 4th. So a little late in April to have, almost 2 feet of snow dumped on us.
Yeah. And now today it's just all rain. I mean, I saw a few real fine flakes this morning because the temperature is right on the cusp there. But,
yes.
It's just dreary, nasty. I'm
gross.
over it.
Yeah.
Over it. Ugh.
Yeah.
But the good thing is the ground's not really frozen. So this is going to add to the water table nicely.
Yes. I did have some daffodils and some paper whites that were up about 2 inches. So they're probably not gonna make it.
Because it was heavy snow. If it hadn't been so heavy, that's the thing. I'm afraid it's gonna have broken off all those little shoots that were starting. Ugh.
Yep.
Hopefully not.
I also had a little bit of my daylilies and hostas were up too, but when they fall over in the fall, like all the big leaves and stuff fall over on them, I leave that as installation. Yes. It's not until spring that I pull all that off. Yeah. And I hadn't pulled it off yet, so I'm hoping that there's enough there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But the snow's a little gross.
Yeah, it is. I've been teasing my manager that I am going to take off to Fiji.
Can you work remote from Fiji?
Oh, I sure can. I can get Wi-Fi there.
Julie would find a way if she could.
You've got to believe it. And I'm actually then a lot closer to India, and I could work with our BPO organization a lot easier than the folks from the States.
There you go.
Oh, I tried to sell her on that, but she didn't bite.
No.
Even though I told her, yeah, I'll stow you away. You can go in my suitcase.
Yeah, sure.
And
Right
she would
next to
love
me.
that part. She would love that part, but yeah. She didn't think we could make that work. Oh well. Yeah, and other than that, I actually have been trying to knit quite a bit, so that's been nice. We had that storm coming, so I'd rather it was this way, but I filled the tub. I got jugs of spring water at the store, so I had plenty of drinking water. I made sure that I had I save those big Primo bottles and put water in them for like cooking and things, because the tub water I just use for cleaning, washing up toilets. Yeah. So yeah, had all that, plenty of that. Didn't need a drop.
Nope. No,
but
I
would
did the same thing.
Have it and not need it, than need it and not have it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. We always fill the big garden tub. Well, not
Yep.
fill, but pretty close to fill the big garden tub for flushing and washing. And then I also I have a big utility sink in my laundry room, and I fill that one as well for washing and stuff, just because it's closer to the kitchen,
right,
where we'd have to heat water and whatnot for bathing. And so, yeah, and then we have jugs, and we bought bottled water and that sort of thing. And yeah, and canned soup. I always buy like 5 or 6 cans of soup, because if all else fails, I'll heat up a thing of soup for, because we have gas, electric fired gas stove. So you can't use the oven, but you can use the surface top. Yeah. So yeah, we always get well prepared, and then we don't need it. And it's the one time that I think, you know what, we'll be all right. And then we need it, and it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's like, I'll use the water up. I'll go ahead and still use it for flushing and my plants and things like that. So that's fine.
Yeah. Well, not much has happened here over the last few weeks. I did spend some time with our little brother, James. He was over working on cleaning out the place where he's going to build a house on our old property. So I got to hang out with him and see his progress. Wow, he is really clearing that old building out. The foundation. Whew. A lot of work.
Yeah.
It's
a mess.
Yeah. Yeah. But God bless him. He's got the gumption to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to chat for a little bit. I got myself a haircut. I put bangs on.
Oh, okay. I thought something was different. I hadn't placed what it was yet. Okay.
Yeah. I got sick of my forehead, so I put some bangs on, and I trimmed just a little bit. I took about 2, almost 3 inches off the bottom, just because it was getting all kind of tattered looking on the bottom, the dead ends and everything. And so just trimmed it up, and yeah, so I no longer have, the big shiny football forehead. It's going to take some getting used to, because I haven't had bangs in probably 8 years. So, Lincoln has started baseball. That's exciting. Little League. So he has got quite an arm on him.
Oh, cool.
Mike has said for a while, since he was a little toddler, this kid has to play baseball, because he can throw a ball and he can hit. He's got an eye for hitting that ball too. He can crank a ball on the bat. So, not very good at catching. So he's probably going to be a pitcher. Or designated hitter, one or the other.
Yeah.
So that's in full swing. His wrestling season is over. Dylan wrestles co-ed, and then they also have a girls only wrestling. So she has a girls only meet. I believe it's in Bucksport next weekend, which I'm going to miss. We're going to be away. But that's okay. I'm sure there'll be plenty of video taken.
Yeah.
And that's about all that's been going on here. Jack is doing better. He got his stitches out on Friday. If you're I should probably tell who these people are. So Lincoln and Dylan are my grandchildren, for those of you who haven't joined us before. Jack is my daughter's, he's like a beagle mix dog, and he broke his elbow about a month ago now, I guess, a little over a month ago. And it was broken. He broke it falling off the bed. He was playing with, he's got two siblings, two dogs. He lives with at her house, and he was playing with them. He fell off the bed, broke his elbow, and it was broken in such a way that even if they repaired it surgically, it would likely not, he would not be able to keep the leg. It would be something that he'd lose the leg anyway. A few years down the road, it would get worse. So the decision was made to just go ahead and take the leg, because he started losing weight. He started, his muscles were not, they were starting to atrophy just because he was in so much pain. He didn't move much. And the decision was made, it would be in his best interest just to have the leg taken. So that happened. I shared photos of him last week, and he got his stitches out on Friday, which he didn't do well. He got quite ill. And so, yeah, he had some Benadryl. He's had a rough few weeks, but the stitches are gone. Within a week, he'll be able to join his pack again, and he'll be a happy puppy. So
yeah.
Maybe I will puppy sit during one of our broadcasts. And
there we go. Meet Jack.
Bring him on live and meet Jack. He's a sweet little man.
His face is just precious.
Yeah, he is a sweet, sweet boy. So I think that's it as far as life in general. Do you have any other life in general you want to share, Jules?
Not really. I live a boring life.
Me too. Let's get on to some fibery goodness.
Okay.
Let's talk about some events. What do we have for events going on, Jules?
Events. Well, I still have a year-long thing going on. I am in the Crazy Sock Lady membership, and that is, if you look up Crazy Sock Lady on YouTube, you will find her. She will pop right up. Quite popular lady. And she has a membership through that YouTube channel with an exclusive Facebook group. And in that group, we have a year-long knitting from our stash kind of make-along. So if we make something and it was using yarn from stash, then she tracks that and she gives prizes and stuff like that out. So it's just kind of fun to see, who is trying to use their stash and what creative ways they're doing to use it up, what projects they're making and things like that. So that has been fun. I was trying to think if there was anything this time that would be coming up. Oh, yes, there will be something in this episode that I am in that make along
in the
doing.
Whips.
Yes.
Cool.
I think that is my only single event. We were going to have an event today, but we've decided because of this weather, and today it is still iffy. It's right on the edge of that freezing temp, and I am not very interested in driving 2 hours or so in that.
Yeah.
So we will have to try it again. It's one we haven't been to before, so we'll have to keep it on the radar for next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have another April Fool's storm.
It's the fiber. I had an image, but maybe I can find it again.
Fiber Marketplace.
Fiber Marketplace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'll have a graphic here in a minute. But yeah, it's hosted by the Yarn Seller, who is a shop we have frequented on the main yarn cruise. It is, what is it, about a 2-hour drive south of us, Julie?
Yeah.
It's
about that.
quite. Oh, here's the details on the event. So perhaps next year we can do it. It looks like it's in a beautiful location, the Union Bluff Hotel, right on the beach. And I had commented, I can't remember her name. I'm terrible. Maybe you'll remember, Julie. The Mrs. Hartman's. I adore her. She is so sweet. I can't remember her first name. It just went right out of my head. But anyway, I commented on her Instagram post that we were excited to see her. And she commented back that, oh, I can't wait to see you girls, and I'm so bummed that we're not going to be able to go.
Yeah.
But I
needed another candle. I was looking forward to going. But...
Yeah, me too. I mean, we could always order and have it shipped, right? But
yeah.
I
probably will, because I need another candle. And those are just the scents are just so good.
Oh, I don't have it on my desk. I have there's a like a balm that she makes that I usually have it right on my desk. I think I moved it over to the other side of the room. But it's amazing. It's got she does it unscented and scented. It's like a lanolin and beeswax. And it just softens the skin. It is so lovely. And I have the scented version, and it's got all the essential oils in it. It just smells so good. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing her. She's very sweet.
Yeah.
So that event was a bust. But hopefully next year.
Yeah.
The event that we are going to definitely go to, rain or shine, is the Crank-In at Good Karma Yarn and Soap in Bridgeton, Maine.
Yeah.
And this is a whole weekend. So Julie and I are leaving Friday afternoon, and we're not coming home until Sunday, probably evening-ish, late afternoon. Yeah. So it's so much fun.
Yeah. Yep.
We went last year and we did an interview with Jim and Amy, and you can see that. I'll try to link a thing up here. Write a note for their interview from last year. They used to be quite local to us in Belfast, Maine. They had a farm, and they moved to Bridgeton and have a lovely little shop right across from Rennie's Plaza on Main Street. And this is, how many Crank-Ins have they done, Julie? Is this the third annual?
I think this is the second, because something happened last year. There wasn't one last year. It was the year before.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what happened last year.
I don't remember.
But I'm pretty sure this was the second annual.
So it's basically just, we go and crank socks together. Everybody has a circular sock machine and just crank socks together and have a good time. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to get some of Amy's soap.
Yeah.
It's the only soap I use in my house. It's Amy's soap. Occasionally I'll get like Mrs. Hartman's or, something from other makers that we meet at fiber events, but mainly it's Amy's soap.
Yeah. And Jim and Amy are just such good people.
Yeah.
I really enjoy time with them.
Yeah. Very sweet. The other thing that's sort of lingering out on the horizon that we've not really committed to, but we've thought about and talked a little bit about, is the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool on May 11th.
I'm going.
You are?
You've
made
going.
The decision already?
I have made the decision. Yep,
ripped
I'm
it
going.
off and going. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It sounds, from what I've seen, it sounds like they're really going to have a good one.
The last time we went, it was fantastic. There were
and they're having more vendors. They're supposed to have, I think they said 100+ vendors this year.
Wow.
That's huge.
I will say, if you are going to go to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, I know I ran into last time, bring some cash. Not all of the vendors do accept cards.
Right.
Some do like Venmo and PayPal and that kind of thing, but the signal inside that, if they're having it at the same place in that big building, the signal isn't always the strongest.
Right.
For being able to do that. So make sure to bring cash if you go to that event.
Yep.
But yeah, I kind of, all right, if you've already said you're going, then count me in.
Yay!
Barring any roadblocks, because that does tend to happen sometimes. We will be going to that one too.
Yay!
Yay! Look at that. Decisions made on the fly right here live. And you have the exclusive, people.
And then right after that, shortly after that, we'll have the main yarn cruise starting up.
Yeah. Well, before that will be Fiber Frolic, right? That happens in early June.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes.
And then the main yarn cruise. I got an email from them that they've locked in the dates. That's going on from July 1st to October 14th, I believe it is.
I think so.
So that pretty much takes us through the summer until Rhinebeck in October. So,
and surprise, I signed up for a class at Fiber Frolic. I'm surprised I forgot Fiber Frolic because I signed up for a class.
You did? What did you sign up for?
A fleece washing.
Oh, how
fleece
lovely.
Prep. Yeah, we've got a couple of
fun.
fleeces that we need to do. And I thought, you know what?
Julie's
Let's take a class. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you signed up for a brioche class.
No. I'll sign you up if you want to take it.
I would love it. I love brioche.
You can take my spot.
I actually have a brioche hat that I'll show in our FOs that I got probably, I don't know, 24, 25 rows in, and then I screwed something up and I could not fix it. I ripped the whole hat out and started all over again.
See?
I didn't mind. I
can fix lace, but I do not want to try to fix brioche. No, thank you.
I can fix basic brioche, but there was a lot of, you'll see in the hat, there's a lot of like increasing and decreasing where you're making kind of a pattern. And it was so far into the pattern that I'm just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to ladder back this mess and fix it. So I just pulled it all out.
Yep.
So speaking of FOs, shall we?
Yes.
All right. All right, Julie, how many FOs do you have?
I think I just have 2 this time.
2. Okay. I have 4.
You go, girl.
Okay. And you know what? One of them I don't have here.
Uh-oh.
Dangly doodly. All right. So first one is my dishcloths. I'm doing a dishcloth a week, or trying to do a dishcloth a week. And I'm also trying to kind of make them theme-ish. So the March theme was obviously St. Patty's Day. And so I did my last one. The last week of March was just a plain one. And let me grab my banner.
Pretty colors.
This was Knit Picks. Let me see what the color was. I don't remember what the color was.
Basil or something like that, was it? Was it an herby color?
Herb Garden.
There we go.
Herb Garden. So it's Knit Pick Dishy Multi. And the pattern is from the MakeYourOwnZone.com website. It's a pattern that Kay Linton from the Crazy Sock Lady uses. And it makes a really nice square. It has an option for the holes here where you do your yarn overs, or no holes. And I prefer the no holes option. So that's my March one. And then I also did my first April one, and this is so cute. It's called The Chick Square by Daisy and Storm.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
cute.
the cutest? I love it.
Adorable.
I love it. So I also have an Easter egg one and a let's see, there's an Easter egg, a cross, and a bunny that I'm going to do for April.
In that same like relief look?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And they're either by Daisy and Storm or by Chris Knits, which Chris Knits I found no longer has her patterns on Ravelry, but I found an archive link on archive.org where I can find her patterns. So I'm able to find some of the patterns that I love by that designer there. Cool. But Daisy and Storm offers tons of free patterns on her website. She does it like a blanket, so it's like squares. You can do dishcloths, or it's for like putting it all together as a blanket.
Yep.
And I'm kind of wondering, do these need to be dishcloths or do these need to be a cotton blanket?
Oh,
we'll see. Stay tuned. So that is my first FO. You want to show one of yours, Jules?
Sure. So I did get, I may have shown these last time, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I was completely done with the second one. My Yarnable socks, that was the February colorway.
Lovely.
So those are done. And did I put up Yarnable? Yeah, Yarnable.net. This is a subscription that club that you can join. It's not always open, but if you go there, you'll see if it is open. And if not, you can put your email address in and get on the list for it. Really pretty colorways and little extra goodies in that subscription kit. You can customize it for 1 or 2 skeins, fingering or DK. You can pause your subscription if you need to. You can change it. It's really good. It's probably one of the best subscription boxes I've had. So little plug there for them.
Yeah, I used to get it in the DK version and I did love it. Mm-hmm. I just have too much yarn, so I just stopped for a while.
Yeah, I did stop for a while, but I started back up this year and doing it a little bit different this year. I do still have some of my older subscriptions, which I plan to crank into tubes now that I'm on that game. But I would just keep that subscription going every month. I've decided now, because she does offer a sneak peek of the upcoming month, that I'm going to look at that sneak peek. And if it's not something that makes me fall in love, I'll skip that month. I can totally do that. So
yeah,
I did skip March, but April's is really pretty.
Yeah,
really pretty.
Can't resist the April one, huh?
Nope. Which reminds me, I don't know what I did with my April one. I didn't bring it over here. Oh well.
We're just forgetful today. I forgot FO and you forgot.
Yep.
It happens. Yep. So my next FO, I'll show the one that I forgot to bring with me. So this is, let me grab my details here. This is the Dune Infinity Scarf. So I did get a picture of it. I just forgot to bring it with. This was made with a hand-spun BFL that I got from my, what's it called? Breed study from mainfiberworkshop.com. She does a breed study, which she sends you fiber each month and you spin it and she gives you all the details and things. I do a video. I'll put the playlist up here. I do a video that I kind of go over my research on the breed study and a little bit of how I spun it and that kind of thing. So this one was BFL, and it was in kind of a humbug preparation. So it was dark fibers along with white fibers. And I kettle dyed it in a crock pot with this blue color. And in that box, or in that kit, in that breed study, she gave one of her patterns. So this is a pattern by Kendra Millis. And it's called the Dune Infinity Scarf. And it's just these offset eyelet. It's just a beautiful, beautiful shawl, scarf rather. It is meant to be infinity, so you can double it and pull it over, but I didn't have quite enough fiber. I can double it and put it around my neck. It's quite tight around the neck when it's doubled, and you don't really see the pattern very well. So I decided
I love
to
how you can see that dark fiber in there.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
I lightly dyed it because I didn't want to lose that. I wanted to see how the dye was captured in both the light and the dark fiber. So, you know, I made sure to lightly dye it. I was going for more a deeper, really blue, but I didn't want to go any darker with the dye and lose that contrast of the.
You would have lost the darker fibers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love it. It's really nice. It's so cozy and warm too.
Now, whose neck is that around there? Is that Sammy's?
No, that's mine.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That's me.
I was like, did you give that to Sammy?
Oh, no, that's mine. I am a selfish knitter.
Me too.
What's next for you, Jules?
Okay, so I cranked a tube with this sock yarn.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
I love it.
Don't remember what the colorway is. I don't have my tag here. This is so silly. But I know the yarn is by Mandy's Makings. And then the contrast is Nomad yarn. It's just that they're one of their fingering bare bases. And yeah, I love the speckles. They're so pretty.
I love
and
the
I
tall,
did them as
the tall leg on that. I love that.
Well, I only have a 64 stitch cylinder for my CSM, and that's a little bit too big. Kinsley wanted a pair of socks, and she wanted this yarn, and I had the tube cranked already, so I had her try, slide her foot in the tube, and it's fine for her foot, but it was really too big for her little legs. So I figured out how to, where I would. Well, I decided just to do tube socks, and that way I didn't have to fiddle with putting a heel in, but I could figure out what she needed for length of foot and where above her heel the leg should start. So I just did a long ribbed leg, and that way I'm hoping that way the tube socks will work fine. The rib will kind of suck in for her little pencil legs, and I'm hoping that the tube socks work. We'll see how it goes, but I've never done just a pair of tube socks, so she's my little guinea pig for that. But yeah, I love it too, and I've got enough of the yarn that I'm actually. Well, we'll get to that in whips.
Okay.
Your
Stay
turn.
Tuned. Okay. My next whip is. Eppo, I'm wearing it.
Yes.
This is. Let me get my details because I will forget if I don't look. This is Sunset Diamonds by Wardah, and it was a Expression Fiber Arts, one of their Free Friday patterns, and I just got smitten with it. It's a crocheted shawl, and so I purchased a bunch of yarn from them to do it. They offered a fabulous discount code.
Yep.
And it is gorgeous. Let me just.
It is. Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness. It's so pretty.
Yes,
this knit up, crocheted up so quick. I started it on. Oh, I didn't put my dates here. I started it on
your project page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Crochet does go a little bit faster than knitting, I think.
It does, yeah. Let me share some photos while I look here.
Ooh.
So I started this on March 15th and I finished it on April 3rd. And it is made with Expression Fiber Arts, their alpaca silk lace. It's 50% baby alpaca, 50% mulberry silk.
Drape for days.
Yeah. Each skein is 604 yards. And the colorways I used were the colorways I used. This top one was June Pearl. This one was Fool's Gold. And then the gray here is Abandon. The darker kind of brownish gray is Spiral Staircase. And the last little bit here, without my hair, is Ebony. Now, the Ebony, the Abandon, and the Fool's Gold and the June Pearl were all oopsie skeins. So their oopsie skeins are skeins that are, something's wrong with the dye. Like, it's just not perfect. So they offer a discount. So I got the discount for the oopsie and I got the discount for the code that they sent. So I was able to get all the yarn for this, like, crazy, incredible deal. And there's nothing wrong with the yarns.
No, the oopsie is the oops. Those are gorgeous.
Yeah. The only thing I could tell about the June Pearl was the June Pearl, according to, like, if you looked at the original inspiration photo and the original skein, it should have had a little bit of this sort of coppery color in it. And there really isn't a lot. I think it's like a little muted, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the Ebony, which is this right on the edge here, is supposed to be like a really dark, and it does come off really that dark blackish. But if you look at it in a lot of light, and I know, there it's showing up.
Yep.
It has almost like the color broke, but I love it. It makes this marled look to that edging of the shawl that I absolutely love.
It looks like a black with a mother of pearl kind of effect.
Yeah, it's and the marling bit is almost bluish, like a really dark navy blue.
You can even see gorgeous. Like hints of purples and greens in there.
It's really, really pretty. I love it. I did run out early. Let me see which one. I ran out early on this, the Fool's Gold. So this should have gone a little further into here before it ran out, but it ran out early, so I had to start early. And as a result, then I ran out of this gray super early because these should have marled into this part, this section, and they really couldn't. But I ended up with plenty left over of the others, so it worked out okay. It's like you'd never know unless you know, right?
Nope.
It's beautiful. I absolutely love it.
Is.
And I'm going to put it on this way because my back is cold. Yeah, it's so pretty, and it's so warm. That alpaca, oh my gosh, it just keeps you so cozy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So that, I have one more whip. Do you have any, FO, do you have any more jewels?
Nope.
Okay. I have just one more. And it's the brioche we were talking about.
It's so beautiful, just not my game.
It is so pretty, isn't it? I love it.
I love the contrast.
So this, I didn't put up my banner for Sunset Diamonds. There's Sunset Diamonds information. This is Flashpoint by Knitting Apprentice. And what I love about brioche is you can reverse it.
Yeah. And that contrast is gorgeous either way.
I know. It's so amazing. I love it. So this is knit in hand-spun Shetland and mulberry silk. This was a Fiber of the Month Club box. And if you could, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's like little flecks and bits of the silk that
that takes the dye differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it almost has like a what's the word?
Like a tweedy effect?
Yes, thank you. Yes, a tweedy effect. So the blue is called Mary's Robe, and the orange is called Angel Wings. This was the box was like the theme was an Annunciation.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. The pattern was super fun to knit. This knit up very quickly. I started it on the 22nd of March and it was finished 4 days later.
Wow.
And I got about this far into the hat and I made a catastrophic mistake, ripped the whole thing out and started all over again. And the mistake was totally my own. I did not use stitch markers between the pattern repeats the first time I knit it and I got confused. So the second time I put stitch markers between this pattern repeats and it just zipped right up really, really quick. And brioche is life. It's so fun.
You can have all mine.
Julie has no desire to do it, but it's
Nope.
it's a technique. It's there, so I had to do it, and I really enjoy doing it. It's very fun. So that is it for my FOs. Nothing more for you, Jules?
Nope.
All right, let's go on to whips. All right, how many whips do you have, Jules?
Okay, so any whips that got love this last time was 1, 2, 3.
3?
Yeah.
I also have 3.
Well, there.
All right. Age before beauty.
Oh, that would be me.
I'm no beauty, but go.
So I'm working on one. So this is part of that tube that I cranked that I did Kinsley's socks with. And I just remembered this colorway is called Calming Seas. I don't have the mini that came with it right handy, but it is like, if you think of yellow highlighter, that was the mini that came with it. So
yeah.
I am going to be able to get 2 pairs, this pair and one more pair even out of that tube. So one of them is going to have the neon highlighter yellow for the contrast.
I think the yellow is going to be beautiful with that.
I do too. And I actually intended to start it on this sock and forgot. I was just in the mode of using the Nomad yarn and I kept going. But this time, and it may or may not work, but I'm experimenting. I really like the way that a heel flap and gusset fits, and I'm trying it with an afterthought heel.
Ooh.
I don't know if it will work, and I'm really a glutton for punishment. I'm doing an Eye of Partridge heel, so if it doesn't work...
But you won't do brioche, people.
No. I haven't done an Eye of Partridge heel for quite a while, but I love the texture and the look of it.
Yeah.
So I figure I'm experimenting. I will just go with my Eye of Partridge heel and see if I can make it work.
Oh, well, you'll have to let us know how it turns out.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It may be a total fail, but I can't get out of my head that should work somehow.
Yeah, it's the thing that I struggle to wrap my brain around in trying to do a heel flap and gusset with an afterthought is how you do the gusset stitches. Yeah.
Yeah. But I figure this is the way that you do it when you're knitting top down. You just have these other stitches sitting there waiting for you anyway. So it's got to work, right? Am I just overthinking it?
The thing that confuses me about the afterthought is when you're doing your decreases in your gusset section of the sock, you're also knitting your instep stitches. Mm-hmm. So that's where my brain can't wrap around how you're going to accomplish that decrease.
Yeah. So I don't know. we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep. I can't wait to see how you come up with it. It may, I don't know. I'm like, maybe you could do short row kind of, but I don't know.
I'm just going to knit it like I normally do when I knit a heel flap and a gusset, and it'll either connect up and it'll work or it won't.
Yep.
If it doesn't, oh well, ripping more knitting, right?
If it does, you'll have to teach me, because I love a heel flap and gusset too, and I would love to be able to do afterthought
That
and
way.
do the to-be thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So stay tuned.
All right. My first whip is I don't have it in here. But it is the tube sock. So this is tube that I cranked out at Julie's a few weekends ago. And I do have, although I don't have it here, it must be in my purse, because I take it with me whenever we go anywhere, so I can car knit and appointment knit and all that. So I do have one sock that I've taken off of here. As you can see, this one is on the needles, and I have the cuff, and I have the toe. I have the cuff done. The toe is almost done. I have the heel on needles waiting to be snipped and knit in. I am knitting the toe and the cuff in homespun girls. It's a colorway that I put in my lace and fade boxy. And this is what I'm going to do the heels in.
Pretty.
So that'll be the heels, and the toe and the cuff are the lighter shade of green that this was.
Okay.
It's kind of almost not really a limey green, but
yeah,
it's light, much lighter than this. Kind of like this, almost this little plant.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I think it looks good with it. It's not too much.
Right.
I was going to do black, but I'm just not.
Ooh,
Yeah, no.
that's rough.
I am having a really hard time. The stitches in that tube are so tight. Like the gauge is so fine.
Yep.
I'm having a really hard time picking up the stitches. That yarn is just a little bit splitty. And I think that is Barocco sock. I think is the yarn that.
Yep, I think it was.
Yeah, I think this is a Barocco sock, which is lovely. It's a nice,
good wearing
sturdy
yarn.
Yeah. And I do like the gauge of the sock, but it's just a little difficult to pick up the stitches with my old eyes.
Yep.
All right. What's next for you in whips, Jules?
Next in whips, I am woefully behind, but the 24 Birds Make Along Mystery Knit Along with Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. I've got it on.
Nice.
Still on clue 1, but and you can't really tell. My A and B colors are very, very similar. This is my A color, which is what pretty much all of that is. And this is, let's see, that's the A. It's a beautiful speckled yarn.
That is pretty.
And that is from Knitterly Things. It's their Vesper Bespeckled Sock. Knitterly Things. And the color is Merry Mint.
Oh, very appropriate name.
Yes. So that's the A color and what the majority of this is so far. But I have about, I don't know if you can really see. I mean, they are so similar. I don't know how much contrast I'm going to get in that next section. But I have maybe like 6 rounds in here are the B color, which is this one.
Oh, that is very close, isn't it?
They are very close. This one has more browns in it.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit lighter in the blue. So it transitions out of the blue a bit and more into the browns in this one. So I probably won't get a big deal in contrast there, but that's okay. And this is actually a yarnable yarn. And I can't remember. I think this was Born to be Wild. This was a last, I don't know. It was a past year color anyway. And this one is Born to be Wild. So that is where I am at on that. I am almost at 10%. She does have clue 3 out. So like I say, I am woefully behind. But you know, it is what it is. Do what I can do. It is a more focused knit because you're doing lace in there. There are knit rest rows, but there's definitely lace rows as well. So.
And that is going to be a circular shawl, correct?
Yes, pie shawl. Yep.
Yeah. I was very close to casting that on. I love Helen Stewart's patterns. I love the way she's very detailed in the pattern. I love the format. Mm-hmm. And her designs are just so pretty.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see the design there, but this one has like a vein in it that goes out from the center. Mm-hmm. You can see it there. So that is, you know, that's going to be a very pretty design. She does a lot of these almost triangular but leafy kind of shapes.
Yeah. And it's repeated. So a lot of times you can memorize the pattern and just it's such an engaging knit.
Yeah. And all of her hints and tips, they're just like, even though you're doing lace and, you know, it can be
intimidating.
It can be easy. Well, it can be easy to make mistakes in lace.
Yes.
But the way she lays out her patterns and the suggestions and tips and stuff that she gives, I don't make nearly as many mistakes.
Yeah.
The only thing I've done so far is occasionally when I'm doing a knit stitch, I don't get the stitch I've come through completely off the needle, and then I have an extra stitch there.
Yeah.
But like you say, because her stitch repeats are like maybe 10 stitches or so typically, you can usually catch pretty quickly that you've got that extra stitch there. So
yeah. Definitely with her lace patterns, use stitch markers. Mm-hmm. And on a shawl like that, because I've knit one of her pie shawls before, the anthology throw.
Yep.
You take all your stitch markers.
Yeah.
Every single one.
And I'm not sure why yet, because I'm on clue 1, but she does give a suggestion not to use stitch markers yet.
Oh.
And I haven't really figured out, okay, well, you know, I kind of, but the way she writes the pattern is the repeat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I have not had any trouble not having the stitch markers in yet.
It could be the stitches that are at the end of the repeat. I think it was the anthology that when you got to a certain stitch, there was like a yarn slip and pass over that was right at the either beginning or end of a repeat. So in order to do that, you needed to take a stitch marker off, do your pass, and that can be quite fiddly if you've got all those stitch markers on there. So I can see where she might say, no, don't put the stitch markers on yet.
Yep. And I think there is something at some point that she says, I'll tell you at what point you should be using stitch markers. So so that's that one. Having a blast with it.
I'll bet. I almost did it, but I couldn't find I was not going to buy yarn for it, and I could not find in my stash yarn that I thought would make a cohesive enough shawl. So I said,
nothing made you fall in love, huh?
No, there was a few combinations. I was like, I could make this work, but I'm not knitting things that I can make work anymore. Right. If I don't love the color combination, If it doesn't speak to me that it's going to be good in that pattern, I'm not knitting it just for the sake of knitting it. It's just not something I want to do anymore. I've got a closet full of just for the sake of knitting it knits that I hardly ever wear. So I'm not doing it.
I totally agree.
All right. So my next in progress or whips in progress is not that one. It's this one. This is in a bag made by Wee Ones. It's a stitch marker maker here in the state of Maine, and her mother makes project bags and needle minders and all those sort of things. And I picked this up at one of her shows. I also have
it's like she was designing with our logo.
I know. It's totally our logo. I mean, look. Made for us, right? I also have one of those little fabric things with the snaps that matches it, but I'm not using it for this project. So the project is, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. It's called the Blue Lagoon Cowl by Linda Perry. Linda Perry is the dyer of Harbor Yarns, and pardon my wrinkled up, messy pattern here, but it's a basket weave, beautiful, beautiful cowl. And the way that it's constructed, it has this kind of offset. You knit the whole thing and then you sew the ends together to make the cowl, but you sew them offset, so it kind of gives some versatility to the cowl. And this is just so pretty. I'm knitting it with her yarn. Here's the right side.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that is pretty.
Isn't that
Was that
gorgeous?
one of her indigo dyed?
I don't think it was. Let me see
I
if I
see
can
some
find
purples
it.
and greens, so maybe not.
Oh, here's the yarn. Nope, it's kettle dyed. It doesn't say indigo dyed, but that's her label. She's in Damerscott, Maine. She is part of the Yarn Cruise.
Yep.
So it says it is 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk.
Oh.
Yeah. And the colorway is Blue Lagoon.
Oh.
And it is so stinking soft.
Look at the squish in it.
Yeah. It's going to be absolutely luscious around the neck. And I'm knitting it on straight needles.
Wow.
That's what she suggests. And I happen to have a short set of US 4s. I think that's what it is. Yeah, US 4. And it's so stinking easy. The pattern repeat is very memorizable. And it's just one of those things that you can pretty much mindless knit. The only thing that I sometimes get hung up on is I forget to switch from my knit to my purl for the basket weave, and I just keep going and going, and then I end up with this really tall. But I love it. The yarn is so amazing. And this has been in the whip pile forever. And that's what I'm kind of trying to do, is get through some of the ones that have kind of been sitting there waiting to be made. So that's my my knit that I do when I don't need to focus, because it's just so
potato chip knitting.
Yes, potato chip knitting. So what's your next whip, Jules?
This one is a surprise.
Oh, surprise! I like surprises.
Yeah. So this poor thing hasn't got much love, but it did this time.
Ooh, look at that! I recognize those colors.
You do, don't you? So there's my little progress keeper. Shows you how much I did. I got through,
Wow.
3 more colors? Yeah, 3 more colors. Just started on the 4th one now. So I love knitting on it. It's just so mindless. I'm just doing a garter stitch border, which I'm doing the border right as I go. So when the blanket's done, the blanket will be done.
You won't have to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And the center then is just stockinette. So all of those stitches are just stockinette. And I'm just loving it. It's so much fun. It's basically like, what did I say? 15 rows was I getting? Like 12 or 15 rows I'm getting with each color. So each color is just going so quickly. And I'm like, ooh, I want to see what the next color looks like. I want to see what the next color looks like. So yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying it. Oh, and I gotta show the little stitch stoppers. These
oh my gosh, those are cute.
Aren't those cute? I won't say where I got those from. We'll save that because some people might. I'm not going to be a spoiler.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is actually not a pattern. It's my own thing that I'm doing, and
It will be a pattern once she releases it.
that I would like to try to. The plan is to try to get this done. I would like to have it done like by the end of May, June, something like that, so that I can see about putting it out there for testing and see if I can get it out so that it coincides with winter, this winter when Advents come out.
Yes,
because
it's an Advent
pattern. And the thing that I really would like to do if I do put it out for testing is if someone does not have an Advent that they want to put it in, you do it scrappy. You don't have to have an Advent. You can just scrap it. I also would love to see if anyone has a fade kit. And so instead of doing just the, little narrow stripes, if you had a fade kit and did it that way, I think that would be really pretty. It's just, a feature panel here that you can do so much with. And I would love to see if anyone tests it, what creative ways they come up to incorporate that feature panel in there.
I love the way that it's framed.
Yeah.
Like, I love my Advent kits, and I love to have something that I can see the colors.
Yes.
And I can remember, like I can look at the color names and remember all of those colors. And that is just that could be a blanket. You could throw it on the wall. It's like a tapestry kind of thing. Like it's so, I love the frame aspect of it, especially with the natural color. It's just so cool. And I'm loving seeing how those colors are coming out, because that's the minis that I dyed up, and I've not sampled them. I don't know what they look like all knit up, and it's so fun. I know what they look like crocheted, because Kayla did a crocheted, and again, I forgot to bring it. I'll have to remember that next time.
Yeah. Did she get them all put together?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
She did all of them, and then the final skein, the big skein, she did the border around it with the big skein.
Nice.
And it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Cool. But I'm loving seeing how they knit up, especially that the Eagles one. Oh
yes, yeah.
That's
the almost camouflage look.
Yeah. I love the way it pulled. Completely, of course, unintentional, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I just throw dye in a thing with.
And this one, the Luster of Midday.
Yes.
That is so pretty.
That was probably my favorite skein.
Yeah, it's so pretty. You got to repeat that.
Oh God, I didn't write down anything. Are you kidding? I just threw dye together. There's no way I'm gonna know what I did. I'm a little concerned about when you get to all the deer, because I did kind of make, because they're representative of the reindeer, I did make them similar, but with subtle differences.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you don't end up with a block of like,
That's
it looks
fine
like
with
a big
me.
old block in the middle of the same yarn.
It's
But
fine with me. Whatever it is, and that's fine with me.
it's so much. I get why dyers dye yarn, because it is so fun
To see
and
it
it's
done up.
so amazing to see it in projects.
Yep.
It's cool. Not that I'm a dyer by any stretch, but
Well, you are. You dyed it.
I dabble.
That makes you a dyer.
It's fun. All right, my last whip is Etta by Alison Green, and I started this on Thursday during the snowstorm, and I am 6 rows from having the yoke done.
Wow.
It is going so quick.
Oh, do you have a? I'll look.
Oh, I probably do.
I'll look.
Yes, I do.
Etta, there we go.
This is a pattern that I picked up on the yarn cruise. Pardon the pattern, it's all marked up because, I mark it up. But there, if you can see it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's quite a small pattern. That's the one thing I don't like is when you print it, it's so tiny. The words are so tiny. I picked it up during the yarn cruise, and it is made with where's my ball band? It is made with Barocco Summer Sesame, and I think they had a sample of this at Cashmere Go. They had the shirt knit up, and they had a special on this yarn. So of course I grabbed all that I would need to make the sweater or shirt. It's not really a sweater. It's
kind of a summer tee.
Yeah. And I have lots of sweaters that I still need to knit up, but I figured we're coming into warmer weather. I'm probably going to want some lighter knits, get my wardrobe ready for the warmer weather. So I decided to do this one instead, and it's going to be done way before I'm going to be able to wear it because it's going so quick.
Wow, that's cool.
I will say I'm not loving the yarn.
Oh, really?
As far as knitting with it.
Is it fingering or?
It is. It says it's worsted. It's a 4 medium.
Huh. Wow, it looks thin.
I did a swatch, and it does bloom when you block it.
Okay.
So I think it's going to end up being worsted once it's done. What is the content? It is 47% cotton, 44% acrylic, and 9% nylon. So it's wash and wear. Yeah. No need to, it's the care instructions are machine wash separately in cold water on delicate and lie flat to dry. So there's no need to take any really special care, which I love. But the construction of the yarn, I'm not sure if you can see it. It is quite splitty.
Yeah.
So
is it like 2 strands twisted and then those 2 twisted strands are twisted?
No, it's 3.
Okay.
It's 3 strands, but each of those strands are 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those tend to be the splitty yarns.
Yeah.
Is when they do that way.
And one of the strands has some nubbly bits in it. Like almost like tweedy bits, which I love. It adds really cool texture to the garment. But it's just it's quite splitty. So it's a little difficult not to knit, but if you make a mistake and you have to tank back, that's where it can become quite.
That's where you find your splits.
Gnarly, yeah, yeah. But the pattern is super engaging, super easy, memorizable. The kind of the yarn over repeats here are let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 rows. The first 2 get your yarn over bits there, and there is only 1 increase row for each one of those repeats. And then there's only 2 like lacy work pattern rows, and then the other 4 are just straight knit. So you have a kind of 2 complicated rows, and then you got 4 rest rows. So it's super quick, super fast. And I love the fabric it's producing.
Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing
I love the coloration, the way it's knitted out. Yeah.
The way that it kind of has that striping.
Yep. Yeah.
I wasn't sure I'd love that. I was going to do alternating, but that's too fiddly faffy. So I just said the heck with it. And the way that the sample looks, it looks like this real stripy bit is only in the yoke, and then it kind of
oh yeah, because you'll be out different circumference. It'll change. Yeah.
So the body of it looks like there's less stripy and more like marley look. So yeah, that is, the color is 5250, which is also called sand, and I love it.
Yeah. It's going to be a great summer tee.
Yeah, it is. So that is it for my whips. Do you have any other whips, Jules?
That is all that's getting any love right now.
All right. I still have, obviously, a Seaglass sweater, which is on timeout. Tricerasocks, which is on timeout. And I think there's one other that's on timeout. No, that's it. Those are the only 2 timeouts.
Yeah, I do have to pick up the temperature blanket and get that going, because that's going to be done like in 3 weeks.
I have 2 charity crochet blankets that have not seen much love. One is a granny square, which I've got all the squares done. I just need to sew them all together now. But that's it. My basket of needle adjacent knits is ridiculous, but it's getting less. Like, they're not overflowing off the top of the basket anymore. They're at the top of the basket level. All right. So on to future projects. All right. Future projects. What do you have in the future, Jules?
Lots of sock tubes.
Yep.
I will be cranking out some sock tubes, so lots of socks will be happening. And then the only other, I don't know if I still have it in here. Let's see. Oh, I think I'm in the wrong one. Still, I'm so fiddly with this. I think I already showed it, but yes. So this is the Amran shawl by Joji Locatelli. I really would like to get that one on the needles. I really, really would. That is like top in my queue right now.
That's one of the tiny tassels, right?
Yes, but this one has them just along the edge. She does have another one that is also in my queue, a little bit further down. And that one is A Place of Peace. Might be kind of hard to see there, but the tassels all go along the edges of those triangular shapes. And that's a lot of teeny tiny little tassels. So I figured that the Amran would be the better way to go, and see if I do like doing the little tassels and just do them in a smaller number before I tackle a huge number of them. And I also have a custom dyed yarn from Done Roving Yarns, because I would like to do this cardigan, the Alton cardigan. It's alternating rows of fingering weight yarn and whatever, the ethereal yarns, I call them, like your mohair silk, suri silk, that kind of stuff.
The lacy.
Yeah.
Lacy fuzzy yarn.
Lace weights. Yep, lacy fuzzy. So those are my like immediate future knits that I would like to do.
All right, my future knits. I have the Finnsport hat. This is probably going to be the next thing. This is from Boondoggle Farm. Finnsport Fair Isle hat. And this was a pattern that we got at, oh, thank you, Julie. This is a pattern we got at Rhinebeck, I think our first or second year.
Yeah, I think it was our first.
Very early.
Yeah.
In our Rhinebeck ramblings. And I have knit 2 of these. What I love about it, and I won't show it because, you know, I don't want to copyright infringe, but what I love about it is there's actually 3 charts inside here that you can mix and match. A lot of them are, you know, like the same number of repeats. So for instance, this hat has all these hearts, but there's also one that has just circles, or like this section you could put down here if you wanted to. You can really mix and match them any way that you like to knit it. And they have kits. The first year I got 2 kits, and this last year that we went with Kinsley and Dylan, they picked out 2 kits. So these are the 2 kits. And so I want to knit these up. It's all one size, I believe. Yes, it's all one size. But you could take out a repeat to make the hat a little bit smaller. Yeah. Which I might do to make these a little bit smaller. When I knit them the first time, they fit my head just right. I like a little bit snugger fit than what they turned out. So I'm thinking I'm going to take out a repeat and make them just a little bit smaller for their smaller heads. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's going to be the next one. Cool. Hats go super, super quick. And if I remember correctly, this pattern is so engaging with all that Fair Isle stuff. Yeah. It's going to fly off the needles. So that will be one project out of the basket.
Cool.
And then the next project is, I don't have a picture or anything of it, but they are the Warm and Cozy socks by Linden Down. These are socks that I make for my husband. There's an option to make them just a straight stocking, or do them with ribbing all the way up. I do ribbing on the top of the foot and then ribbing on the leg. And he seems to love them. And I do them in Briggs & Little, Tuffy. And so this will be the body, and then this will be heels, toes, and cuffs. And then I reverse it. I do this as a body, and this is heels, toes, and cuffs. And I can usually get, he's got huge feet, 13, size 13 feet. I can usually get 1 pair out of this, and then have a little bit left over to do the heels, toes, and cuffs, and get 1 pair out of this. So I should be able to get 2 pairs of socks. I haven't knit him a pair of socks in probably 3 years, so it's time. He's got 1 pair that have made their way into the wash a few too many times. Oops. Yeah. So it's time to replace his stash. So I will probably do at least 2 pair, and they knit up super quick because that is a worsted, almost Aran weight. So they will knit up fairly quickly. And that's it. The tube sock, finishing up the tube sock. And that tube I'm hoping to get 2 regular size and then 2 shorties out of. So that's the only other future knit. That's it for my future knits. You got any other future knits, Jules?
Oh, I have plenty in my queue on Ravelry, but those were the immediate wants.
All right. Yeah, I have tons on my queue too. We won't even go there. But I am trying to do things that are on the queue that have been there a long time. Like I have one that has been in my queue since 2018.
Oh, wow.
It just needs to be knit already. Any spinning for you, Jules?
No, I almost did a little bit last night, but I wanted to get caught up on the 24 birds.
Yeah.
Mystery knit along, so.
Yeah, I'm woefully behind. Woefully behind. I did finish, I have on the wheel right now, the Punta Awareness, which is one of the breed study fibers. And I finished the one that I did on the blending board and did Rolags with.
Mhm.
And then I'm about halfway through the braid that was just the top, the straight top. So I haven't plied the blending board one, but and I've got 2 boxes, 2 breed studies that I haven't even opened yet, and another one will be coming next week. It's ridiculous. I will get a lot of spinning done this summer, though. When we do our camping, I always take the Louette with me. Sometimes I take the Nano, the tiny wheel, the tiny electric wheel. So I'll definitely get a bunch done then.
Yep.
Okay, so that's it on spinning. Miscellaneous makes.
Nope.
Nope.
None for me.
All right. I know we have this one. What do you have for stash enhancements, Julie? Because this is your segment of the broadcast. I have nothing.
I am so naughty.
I'm just going to sit back and knit on my t-shirt for a little bit.
Gosh, I'm such a naughty girl. I
Naughty
really
Tinka.
am. Man. But I can't help it. Man, people are just, they have too good stuff.
I know.
So.
I will have stuff next time.
Yes.
Because we're going to go see and touch and feel.
Yeah. There is a very cool company of 3 ladies that dye yarn. They are in Florida. It's a mom and 2 daughters, and they're called 3 by the Sea. I think I put it in here. Let me see. 3 by the Sea. There we go. So they are on Etsy. I have been eyeballing them ever since Kay, the crazy sock lady, talked about them.
She enables the crap out of you, doesn't she?
Oh, she's really, really. I could not live near this lady. If I went shopping with her, I would be bankrupt.
You'd have to knit a house because it's the only way you'd be able to live anywhere.
But these people, they do have a podcast or video thing that they do on YouTube, and it's just 3 by the Sea Designs. I'm gonna forget. The mom is Dreama, which I think is such a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Kim does the YouTube channel, and I think Becky is the other daughter. I'm not 100% sure though. But they do gorgeous dyed yarn. They have project bags that are beautiful. They have stitch stoppers and progress keepers, that kind of thing. They're really a cool Etsy shop and very lovely people, and their yarn is unbelievable. Anyway, they had a spring collection update, and this one got me. I've resisted until now. So this is one of the sock sets that I just had to get.
Ooh,
isn't that beautiful?
I love it.
Oh, it's a fingering weight sock set. That's their label and all of their information. They are in Florida. This is on their Sanibel base, which is a 75-25 merino nylon. This is called their Serene sock set. This green is the Serene colorway, and this little mini is Butterfly Garden. They do have, Kim made a pattern, a sock pattern called the Serene sock. And that's what this sock set is going to be. It's going to be a pair of the Serene socks.
It's so your colors.
Isn't it? Oh, it's just
so you.
Beautiful, beautiful. I couldn't resist.
Oh yeah, they saw you coming, didn't they?
Big time. There was a bag. They had a gorgeous bag that had sheep. Like the sheep were all cuddled right one next to the other, faces and parts, like headshot parts of the sheep. And they all had, their bodies were all multicolored knit stitches. It was the cutest.
Oh.
They went like that. I missed out on
I'll bet.
But then, how about this one?
Ooh.
Can you see the sparkles?
Oh, yes.
It has little sparkle. It's beautiful.
Dear.
It's Butterfly Garden. And this is on their Amelia silver base. It's fingering. This one is 75 merino, 15 nylon, and 10 silver stellina. So it's got that little glimmer. It's so pretty.
I love it.
I'm not even 100% sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but
it's just sparkles and you needed it.
It sparkles and I had to have it. And then another one with sparkles.
Ooh, that one's so pretty.
Look at the teeny tiny micro speckles.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Heathery.
She was talking about it and she said something about this dye does this micro speckling and it is beautiful.
It really is.
I just love it. Had to have it. This one is called, the colorway is Bluebird, and it's on their Amelia silver base also. It's just beautiful. And I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Uh-oh. Put it together with the butterfly. Ooh.
Is that not gorgeous?
Are you sure you want to make socks out of that? Because that looks like a beautiful sweatery, shawly cardigan thing. That has to happen.
I know. I don't wear enough shawls.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They're really beautiful together. What I'm thinking is that this could be something.
Oh, but when you put that green in it, it just...
I know.
Oh my God.
I don't think they have any more of the serene. I probably should have got a sparkly. I don't think they even had the sparkle on the serene, the green.
I don't think it would need to sparkle. I think just that green in there with the other sparkles would...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. They're beautiful. I mean...
I need to, go work for a yarn shop where I could just play with colors and put things together, because
I love doing that. Like the 24 Birds Make Along. I had so much fun pulling skeins from my stash, mixing, matching, changing them up, seeing what worked. It was so much fun. So anyway, 3 by the Sea, their spring collection. I have no idea what's left in their Etsy shop. But they also they have club subscriptions. I think this last one, I can't remember what it was, but they've had Anne of Green Gables. They just do all different themed, those might be seasonal, but yeah, they come out with a seasonal collection. So they have a spring collection, they'll have a summer collection soon. Each of the seasons they have a collection. They're just I really, really like them. I think they're going to do well. Keep your eye on them.
For sure.
And then, and they also sent me, look at this. That couldn't be any better.
Oh, yum. I love that. I love Stash, but that Jasmine Blossom is really yummy.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay. And then, let's take that one down. Hypnotic Yarn, who does Yarnable subscription boxes, had a sale.
I saw it. I still get the emails and the text messages, and it's so hard to resist.
It is. And there were a couple of things that I had been eyeballing. And when they had the sale, I'm like, all right, it's a done deal. That's just gotta happen. So one of the things I had been eyeballing and have had in my cart, I don't know how many times, is this gorgeous yarn.
Oh, that's pretty. That's very patina and rust?
Patina and rust looking, isn't
it?
Yes.
Yes.
So yes, this is Dragonfly Dreams. Couldn't even be named any better.
Right.
And that's on their plush sock fingering, which is an 85-15 superwash merino and nylon. And it's beautiful.
Oh,
I
mean, that
look
darker
at
bit there. Oh my gosh.
These are my love language colors right there.
Yes.
Oh, geez. So had to snag at least a skein of that. They also had just little bitsy bobs, little notiony things. I had never seen this Pineapple Grove soak. And so I just got a little packet. I thought I would try that scent. Pineapple Grove, it just sounded summery and lovely.
Yes.
And this cute little needle minder. It's a sunflower.
Oh, that is cute.
It's got a big magnet on the back.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is by Monster Knits. Sorry for the glare there, but hopefully you can see that's Monster Knits. And there on Etsy. If I could stop shaking, sorry about that. They also had these cute little bags, and I think this came in the February yarn, because the February yarn was called Love is Love, and I got a black one that said something along the lines of being kind is beautiful, something along those lines. But I thought this was really cute too. I like that. I like that saying. It
almost has a cereal box look to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Fruit Loops.
or like the Life cereal.
Yeah.
The white with all the colorful letters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
My mind makes weird comparisons.
But supposedly that is a quote by Carmel McConnell.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a cute little bag. Way down the sidebar, but Kinsley is crocheting.
Oh.
She wanted to try it again, and that big crochet hook that I got from you, last time she was here, she took to making a chain. She got the hang of that very quickly. She wanted to do maybe like 3 feet and then move to the next step, and I'm like, nope. You've got to crochet a long chain, then we'll move to the next step, because that practice and that repetition will help with the tension and getting uniform stitches. So she took it home with her, and Mom has sent me a couple of times that she's been working on it. So I'm going to put her together her own little, project bag and notions bag, that kind of thing. So I thought that would be a cute little bag to include. Little notions pouch.
Yeah.
And then these are yarn sweaters, and these are by Fox and Pine Stitches, and I had been eyeballing that one with the cute little foxes on it.
Yeah.
They call them yarn sweaters. There's their Fox and Pine Stitches information there.
Cute.
So yeah, she got me on that. And then the last thing was, you'll recognize that.
I sure do.
Yeah. This is by Angela Rose.
I use it often.
And she is out of, I think it's Michigan. Yeah, Wisconsin, actually. So this one is Cinnamon Swirl. It's their signature collection. Their website is right there. And they have all sorts of really cool scents. This one is, it is like walking into the bakery and getting a cinnamon bun.
Yes.
You can practically taste the frosting.
Yes.
When you smell it.
Yes. You get like that it hits you the cinnamon, like the cinnamon and the yeasty smell, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then immediately
All that
after all the frosting, all the sweet,
Yeah.
sticky yumminess.
I have never seen anybody hit a cinnamon swirl roll that well. Oh,
It's spot on. Yeah.
it is. Couldn't get any better. All right, that's Hypnotic Yarn. And the last one is from Mustache Yarn. This is the first time I've had theirs, and they have some gorgeous self-striping yarns that, again, Kay, the crazy sock lady, her membership Facebook group, lots of folks have been talking about this yarn and seeing their striping socks. It got me. So this is Mustache Yarn.
Ooh,
look at that.
Is so you.
Isn't it? The turquoise
So
Sealy corals.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That is their label. And this is their perfect must match set called Koi Pond. That one is Koi Pond. Very appropriate name.
Mm-hmm.
The goldfish in the pond.
Yep.
And this one. Look at that one.
Oh, that is so pretty.
That one is called Chocolate Bunny.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to see how that stripes. You said that's self-striping.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to see the stripes on that.
If you go to their website, they do up, she has a CSM, so she cranks tubes so that you can see how they will stripe up. And that is exactly what's going to happen with these. These are going to get cranked, and they are going, this I got specifically for Cassie. These are colors she would like, and then it being bunnies.
Yeah.
That's right up her alley. So her
Absolutely.
birthday is in May, so this is one of the very next. I actually have a little basket going here. These are the next cranks for the CSM.
Nice.
Yeah. And the cool thing about, I'll take this one apart because you got to see this. This is what put me over the edge on getting this yarn. She calls it her perfect must match set because it is two 50-gram skeins already perfectly separated for you.
Oh.
They will be perfectly matching socks.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have to figure out where to separate to get
to start
your matching
and get
stripes.
The perfect match. Nope.
Wow.
Which it's really not that important with my, with cranking the tubes. That really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you're hand knitting them, that's a huge plus.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
So I just thought that was really, really cool. And that, thank goodness, is all of my acquisitions, other than not really knitting related, but Monday we have the eclipse coming.
The eclipse is coming.
I got my eclipse classes. I don't even know. I mean, I've got to work. Other people beat me to the punch on getting the day off. So I had intended, I took Wednesday through Friday off next week because Wednesday's my birthday. And I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to take Wednesday and the rest of the week off.
There you go.
So I was going to take the whole week. And like I say, somebody had beat me to it. So I'm going to try to get outside because we should get a fairly good partial. But I was going to go up north to like the Millinocket or Calais area because they're in the path of totality. But we're right next to it, so it'll have to be good enough.
Where we like to camp in Greenville is right on Moosehead Lake.
Yes.
And there are going to be millions of people there.
I'm sure.
I would love to go, but I would not like to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I would rather, if I knew I could find a little pond or a little lake somewhere where it wasn't going to be completely overrun, that's where I would rather be, is just, and I don't know, probably Sandy Point will even be.
Yeah, that's probably going to be
mobbed. I don't know.
Nuts.
But I may try it. I gotta look up again. I can't remember when the time was. Was it like 11-ish?
No, I think it's like
it's later.
2:20, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's like around 2:00 in the afternoon.
So I would probably take a late lunch and try to take an hour and check out Sandy Point. Maybe see it. Hopefully it's not too packed.
I get out of work at 2:30, so I might just pop out on the deck for a few minutes. Because I do have a pretty good clear sky.
Yes, you do.
I'll probably be able to see it just right from my deck.
Yeah.
But the kids are getting out of school early. They're releasing the kids early, and we were all like, "What? That's just silly." But Michael actually, I can't remember where he found out. I think it's somebody that is involved in school stuff. Anyway, he found out it's a liability thing, because as long as those children are in the school's possession, so if they're on the bus, the school is liable for them. So if a kid is on the bus and looks up, look up there, and then everybody else looks up and they get eye damage, that's on the school because they were in the school's care. So because of the liability issue, they are sending kids home from school early, and it's off them. The school lawyers were like, this is what we've got to do to protect ourselves.
Yep. Yeah, I think the boys don't even have school Monday, and I think Sarah said Kinsley doesn't. They don't have school that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the grandkids are getting out of school early, so
yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Should be fun times. All right. Any reviews and recommendations, Jules?
I have just one this time, and
all right, let me roll the film.
So I don't think, I didn't make up a banner. But anyway, it's yarn adjacent because it's with me all the time now, whether I'm knitting or whatever. It's in my purse or it's in my knitting bag. This is a lip treatment, and it's from a company right here in Maine. Let's see, does it have their website on here? Oh, it's that name, but I don't know if it's Marin or Marin, but marinskincare.com is what their website is. And it's really cool. Their story is that this girl had really bad, I think it was eczema or psoriasis, one or the other, really, really struggled with it. And, had tried all the creams, all the things, and wasn't getting any relief or solutions that were helping with it. So they came up, they were marine biologists or microbiologists, something along those lines. And they discovered that there are glycoproteins that are in lobsters that help to accelerate healing of the skin and like cellular regeneration and things like that. And they have a cream, like a skincare cream that they developed that apparently is miraculous with eczema, psoriasis, those kind of skin conditions. And this is a lip treatment that they came up with. I struggle. You probably can't. My lips are always dry.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try this. They make it unflavored, unscented, or this one is blueberry French toast.
Yum.
And I'll tell you what, when you put it on, you smell like you are in the kitchen of a restaurant with blueberry French toast coming to your table. It's amazing. And it's so soothing. I can't explain it. It's not waxy. It's not greasy. It's light. It just like, it's a glidey feel. I don't know how to
feel. I love it.
It's just like it just, your lips just glide over each other. And this is going to last. So, I mean, the tiniest little dot, and it spreads over your whole lips.
Mm-hmm.
So this will last a long time. When you go and you look it up, you might have a little bit of sticker shock, but no more than if you were to go to like Ulta or Sephora or something like that and get a big name lip balm or lip treatment. It's in that ballpark. But like I say, you use so little of it, it is going to last a long time. So I really, so far, I really am impressed with that. And made in Maine, so love it
Buy
even
local.
more. That's right.
Awesome.
So that's my big recommend.
I have no new recommendations that I haven't mentioned throughout the podcast. I have nothing specific. I have been binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race, which has been really fun and interesting. And it's amazing to see the art form, like the art behind what drag queens do. And yeah, it's really interesting and amazing to see on a competitive level what they do, how they do it, and the comedy that RuPaul brings to the whole process. He's had 15 seasons.
Wow.
Which is incredible, and some absolutely beautiful and talented people involved in that production, and the contestants, and also to hear kind of the struggle and the triumph and the success that they've had through their career and through their life in getting to this point. And there's some really beautiful and touching stories, and it's an interesting, fun, entertaining show. So that would be my only one recommendation or review. I'm binge watching the 15 seasons. I think I'm on season 5, and it's so fun. And that's it. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark, and that's all that we're allowed on this platform. So
we're not getting shorter, we're getting longer.
I know. There's so much fibery things to talk about.
I gotta stop with the enhancements. That would cut us down a bit.
Well, we're getting into enhancement season, so
I know. Yeah.
So until next time, where can we find you on social media, Julie?
I am jules.makes on Instagram and Jules Larrabee on Ravelry. I am on Facebook, just on my personal page as Julie McKenney Larrabee. That's where you can find me.
All right. And I am Nanas_house15 on Instagram and Nana's House 15 on Ravelry. I'm on Facebook, but not really. Instagram and Ravelry, and right here in the comments, if you comment below. Yeah, we love to hear from you. So definitely chat us up, and that's about all I can say about that. So, and also we, of course, email nutty-nitty-sisters@gmail.com. And so that's it.
Yep.
We always get our timing wrong on this because I think there's a bit of a delay, but we'll try it again anyway. Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Until next time. Stay nutty
and
keep knitting.
Bye.
Bye.